As you're working with your posts inside of WordPress, it's very important to keep some sort of organizational structure. That way you and your readers can easily access different bits of information. Lucky for us, WordPress has things like categories and tags that allow us to keep track of our content more easily. Categories are basic ways of organizing your posts into groups that make logistical sense. Things like news updates, status, images, things like that. Anything that you can kind of group your post together with can become a category. So in this case, I have no categories associated with my WordPress install yet. However, from the WordPress post creator, I can actually add categories to my entire system as well as add the category to this particular post I'm working on. In this case, you can see that right now I am uncategorized when working with this post. If I want to add a new category, I simply click the little plus sign that says Add New Category. I can then call this News and Info, and I can click Add Category. Once I do that, it automatically adds the News and Info category to this post. I can then remove the uncategorized category if I feel like it. If I wanted to add another category to it, or simply add a child category to this, I could do so as well. So in this case, let's go ahead and add a child category to this. So right now I'm calling this News and Info. In this case, this is going to be news about the weather because I've got a picture of these dark clouds. So I'm going to choose Weather, and the parent category will be News and Info. If I click that, Add New Category, it automatically adds Weather underneath News and Info. I can also tag categories. I can also tag posts. Tags allow you to add descriptors or keywords to posts to make them easier to find. So in this case, I'm going to say clouds, weather, news, info, dark, and we'll say formatting, since we've done a lot of formatting to this post. And I'm simply tags allow you to add various keywords to your post to make them easier to find. So in this case, I'm just going to add a few quick tags to this post. So I'll go ahead and add clouds, dark, weather, news, info. Once I click add, those tags will then be added to this post. As I begin to add tags to various posts as I'm working in WordPress, I will then be able to choose from the most used tags here. The ones that are most used will be more prominent and allow me to easily select them and keep them consistent across all my posts that I create. Once I'm finished with these, all I have to do is click Update, and I can go open the post up and view it. Once I have the post open, you're going to notice that I see my post here, and underneath it, it tells me that my entry was posted in News and Info, Weather, and tagged with clouds, dark, info, news, weather. So that's just a few of the ways that you can categorize and tag your posts here inside of WordPress. Let's go ahead and close this up and go back. And let's actually take a look at the categories and post tags section of the WordPress admin. I'm going to go ahead and open up categories from the left and take a look at this. So here I have the ability to create categories outside of the WordPress post editor. If I want to add more categories, I can certainly do so by entering in a name and also specifying a slug. Basically, the name is the full description of whatever you're trying to say, and the slug is going to be a short URL-friendly version of the same name. So in this case, let's say that I want to do another one called blog. And then the slug, I can just call it blog as well, since it's short. If I wanted it to have a parent category, I could, and I can also add a description. If I don't want to, I'll just click Add New Category. So there's blog. Let's say I wanted to add something called video tutorials. This description's a little long, so I'm just going to call this videos. Then I'll hit Add Category. At any time, I can come over here and I can select a category, and at any time, I can come over here and select multiple categories and then perform bulk actions on them, like deleting them. So for instance, if I want to remove the video tutorials and blog categories that I just added, I'll simply hit delete and apply. Once I do that, those two items are deleted and no longer will appear in my category list. If I wanted to edit a category, like for instance my news and info, I can click the edit button. That will open up the edit category screen, and I can change this to news and information. I'll leave the slug at news and info for shortness. Then I'll click update, and that automatically updates that for me. You can see news and information there. And if I go back to my actual site and take a look at the post that I just published, it automatically updates to be posted in news and information as well. If I happen to hover over that, I can see that the actual URL points to news and info, just like before. If I close this back up, I can go back into my post and continue working. Now let's take a look at the post tag section. Much like categories, post tags can be added from their own screen here. You'll see a list of popular tags at the top, and these are just the ones that I added before. You can also add new tags and slugs as well. This works just the same as categories and can be managed the exact same way from this screen on the right. Once you're finished editing these, you can go back to your posts, find the post you're working on, and simply click edit. That will take me back to my first blog post and allow me to continue working. So there you have a couple of easy ways to keep your site organized by utilizing categories and post tags here inside of WordPress.